Hello, my dear learners. Welcome back to the online shine. We're learning BMS Semester 5 Commodity and Derivative Market Unit 4, Chapter 7 Trading, Clearing and Settlement in the Derivative Market. Let's start with the trading. The trading means a simple meaning, a trading where the buyer and selling, exchange, or we can say buying or selling the security. You need to either buy or sell of the stock of the particular company that is available in a Bombay Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange sector. That is called the trading. Now the next is clearing. What is the clearing? Clearing, generally we can assume that there is the middleman who perform the in the buyer side or seller side. So there are the buyer clearing firms and the selling clearing firms. Now in this procedure by which the financial trade are the settled, that is the correct and the timely transfer of the fund. Very important. Clearing have to be timely and correctly transfer of the firm to the seller and the securities to the buyer. Now the clearing is necessary for the matching of all the buy and sell order in the market, providing the smoother and the more efficient market as the parties can make transfer to the clearing corporation rather than to be the each individual party with whom they transfer or transact. It means that clearing play the middleman or intermediary role, which can be a settlement of the both the parties of buying and the selling. In the previous video, we learned how the options are to be transactions. So same thing here. First, buyer go to the and ask to the buyer broker that he want to be entered into the contract or transactions of the underlying asset. So there is to be a middleman who smoother the transaction function between the buyer and seller. So when the trade don't clear, the resulting out the trades can be the causes real monetary losses. If there is to be any delay of the payment or the delay in the security supply, so there is to be a completely monetary loss. Next is agency involved in the clearing and the settlement process. Very important. There are the 5 agencies, that is to be clearing corporation, clearing member, custodian, clearing bank and the depository. So let's start with the clearing corporation. So main role of the National Security Clearing Corporation Limited is to be clear all the trade. Make sure this agency, this corporation, that all the clear are settled in settlement date or transaction date or perfectly is done. Now, we determine the obligations of the member. Yes, the obligations of member means what must to be a supply or must to be a pay to the buyer and arrange for the pay in of fund security. So pay in means what? Transfer the securities by the seller, that is to be transfer the security, and receive the fund securities, receive the fund and securities by the buyer. Make sure that this corporation, that the buyer transfer the fund and the seller transfer the security. Procedure for the shortage in the fund security. If there is any party having the shortage in the fund or security, so they play the middleman role or playing the processing what to do that time. Arrangement for the payout of the fund and securities to the member. So they also arrange the payout of the payout means what? To be buyer pay the fund. So they arrange to the fund and guarantee to be the settlement. Yes, this corporation have given a settlement guarantee on a due date or settlement date. collect and the maintenance of the marginal or collateral based fund. So they have to be the collect and maintain the margin. They always to be maintain the margin by the member or collateral. Collateral means what? If they are not in the position to pay, so they instead of the paying, they have to be reserve some property by paying a security, or we can say the fixed fund. And here is the some objectives of the National Security Clearing Corporation Limited. So first one, to bring and sustain the confidence in the clearing and settlement of the security. So they must be sustainable and confident to build the confidence of the clearing and settlement of the security. The second one is to promote and maintain the short and the consistent settlement cycle. Make sure it is to be very short and consistently flowing a settlement in the cycle. To provide the counterparty risk guarantee. Counterparty, as I told you, there must be two parties at the time of the trade, buying and selling. So they are taking the risk guarantee of the both firm. To operate the tight risk containment system. It means they giving the tight risk to be a system to flow the transaction, to flow the settlement cycle. Now, next is clearing member. Very, very important. A clearing member of the NSCCL has been the responsibility of the clearing and the settlement of all the deals executed by the trade member. So they have to be a responsibility to the trade men executed on the National Stock Exchange. To clear and settle such deals through the them. So settlement all the dues by the trade member to clearing member. So there are the function that is to be clearing, settlement and the risk management. So let's study in the detail the types of the clearing member. Very, very important. The trading members and the clearing members. A clearing member who is also the trade member. So clearing member is also be a trade member, such as to be the clearing member may clear and settle their own proprietary trade, their client trade as well as the other trade of the others. So trade member and the custodian participate. So the clear member is also be a what? A trade member. So they settle all their own, their clients and their other trade members also. That is. Now the second one is professional clearing member. What is the professional clearing member? The professional clearing member, a CM means clearing member who is not TM, that is to be trade member. Typically we can say it is to be a bank or custodian. So it could be become a professional clearing member and clear and settle for the trade members as well as to be a custodian participation. They have to be clear and settle this contract or whatever transaction. Now the next is self-clearing member. So self-clearing member, a clearing member who is the trade member. Okay, but in this case the clearing member only and only settle and clear their own proprietary trade and not for the client or their client and not for the other trade members. Okay, and they settle the trade of the other trade member. It's not okay. So it's very simple. Self means to self-proprietary clear and settle the self-proprietary trade but not the other trade. Okay. Now the next is custodian. Very important. A custodian is the person who holds of the safekeeping the evidence of the share certificate, or we can say it is a title to be a property is belong to the share certificate. So it is to be a person who holding the document. The title of the custodian's property is remain the vested with the original holder. वो उनके नाम पर ही रहता, ओरिजिनल होल्डर के नाम पर ही रहेगा, बट इन दी नॉमिनी और कस्टोडियन ट्रस्टी, और वी कैन से In the NSSCL, the custodian is a clearing member but not the trading member. So again, this is very important. Custodian is a clearing member but not in the trading members. He settled the trade assigned to him by the trading member. ये settle करता है trade जो trading member ने उनको assign करने के लिए. The custodian is the required to the confirm whether is going to be the settle a particular trade or not. तो custodian का काम क्या है कि क्या जो trade हो रहा है क्या वो settle हो रहा है proper time में settle हो रहा है या नहीं. But अगर settle नहीं हो रहा है, if there is confirm कि settle हो गया, if there is confirm कि settle हो गया, so assignment are the obligation of the custodian and the custodian is required to the settle on the settlement date. तो अगर पता चल गया कि चलो ये सेटलमेंट हो रहा है यहाँ पर प्रॉपर्ली ट्रेडिंग हो रहा है, तो उनको ऑब्लिगेशन है कि आपको सप्लाई करना है सिक्योरिटीज. Now, if this custodian is not rejected, then obligation is assigned back to the clearing member. तो वो फिर से उनको बोलेंगे आप फिर से इसको क्या करो, ट्रेडिंग करो, फिर से आप इसको देखो. So this is a custodian, or we can say it is to become a custodian function. So what is the register with the SEBI? The SEBI registered with the custodian. So there are the list of Axis Bank Limited, ILRD, BNP, Paribas and JP Morgan, Chase and Citibank, HSBC Limited. So there are the numbers of the custodian registered with the SEBI. Now the next is clearing bank. Clearing bank are link between the clearing member and SCCL for the fund settlement. So it play the role between the clearing member and SCCL. So every clearing member is required to open a dedicated settlement account with the one of the clearing bank. के साथ में उनको अपना अकाउंट ओपन करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज इसके बेस पे ही they are the obligation are to determine to the clearing member make a fund available in the clearing account for the pay in and the receive the fund in case of a payout. It means that if there is the payout का मतलब है if there is to be a paying by the buyer their amount, so there is the transfer of the securities through the seller. So pay in, transfer the securities by the seller. Payout means pay the amount to the seller. So that is to be a settlement. इससे पता चल जाता है. Now NSCC has the empaneled the 13 clearing banks. Namely, we have the list of the Axis Bank, Bank of India, Canara, Citibank, SDFC, Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank Corporation, ICICI Bank, IDBI Bank, Industrial Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Standard Chartered Bank, State Bank, and Union Bank of India. So there are the 13 banks which is to be clearing bank performing function. Now, what is the another most important depositories? What is the depositories? Depositories hold the securities in dematerialized form. What is a dematerialized form? जब आप ट्रेडिंग करते हो तो आपको फिजिकल सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है. सो दिस फिजिकल सर्टिफिकेट इज कन्वर्ट इनटू द इलेक्ट्रॉनिकल फॉर्म व्हिच इज कॉल्ड द डीमटेरियलाइज्ड फॉर्म. तो डिपॉजिटरी यही काम करते हैं कि जो सिक्योरिटीज है उसको डीमटेरियलाइज्ड फॉर्म में करता है फॉर द इन्वेस्टर द बेनिफिशियल अकाउंट. तो उनके जो बेनिफिशियल अकाउंट है उनमें ही वो क्या करता है, इनको इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में होल्ड करके रखता है. Then each clearing member is required to maintain the clearing full account with a depository. तो उनको ये अकाउंट ओपन करना बहुत जरूरी है बिकॉज वहाँ पर उनका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में सर्टिफिकेट जाएगा. So they are required to make the available the required securities in the designated account for the settlement date. So whenever they required, अगर जब भी सेटलमेंट डेट आएगा so they need to be required the certificate. तो उनके पास इलेक्ट्रॉनिकल फॉर्म में वो रहेगा. So the depository run an electronical file to transfer the securities from the account of the custodian to that of the NSTCL and the vice versa as per the schedule of the allocations of the security. So whenever the allocate of the security, they transfer to the custodian, or we can say the NSTCL to the settlement of security. So that is the work of a depository. Or we can say the two depositories in India are to be a National Security Depository Limited and the Central Depository Services Limited in India. So here are the detailed explanations of the clearing, trading and the types of the clearing mechanism. So in the next lecture, we are going to learn a settlement. Thank you so much for watching me. If you have any doubt, you can leave a comment below. I'm sure I'll sort out your doubts. Thank you.